Hello friends, just wanted to do a follow-up video, I guess, or however you want to call it, to that gas system piston that was stuck on there. Got it off, soaked it in Ed's Red while I was cleaning the rest of the shotgun, and got out there to the shop, and it would turn again, but it wouldn't slide off. So that's where the little old brass hammer comes into play. The brass is softer metal than the steel of the gas piston in this tube, so you just slide it along and give it some taps, and it eventually came loose and come off. What it did, the Ed's Red had taken care of most of the crud on the outside. There's still some cleaning to do on that, no doubt, but it sure did dissolve a bunch of that carbon. What I was left with, and if you don't know what that Ed's Red is, I may have already said this, I don't remember. Google it. Good stuff. Homemade cleaning compound. Works awesome. Depending on what price point you can buy your components at, it's cheaper and just as effective as some of the store-bought stuff like Hoppy's number 9. But anyway, and I hope I'm saying that right. I've always, yeah, anyway, don't know how to say it correctly. I've heard it said 100 different ways. But anyhow, the Ed's Red, good stuff. And like I said, if you can get the right price point on your components for it, you can make a couple of gallons of it, and it'll last you years and years and years. But anyway, depending on how much shooting and cleaning you do. But look at this. Look at all that carbon buildup around where that gas piston sat. And that's why the gun froze up or started running sluggish, and that was froze on there. So I'll probably end up with a little carbon scoring on here. I already had some. Gas guns, you'll get it. That carbon some of that stuff is really, really fine. It'll actually get in the pores of the gun, of the metal, especially when you get it hot, when you run it up heavy. And that stuff will get in there, and it'll just permanently bond to inside that metal. Doesn't really hurt it, as long as you keep it smooth and clean, and don't go ridiculous like this every time you clean your firearm, or don't clean your firearm like I did in this case. Just stress testing it. Just thought this would be fun, and so far it is. So let me be dumb and you be smart and just clean your firearms after each use. Something I always keep in my cleaning kit, and I have for years, a little trick my old drill sergeant taught me. The dental pick. You can buy them off the internet. You can might go to your dentist office. There's a point where they break them or they get not good anymore, and just ask your dentist, you got any picks I can get from you? And you'd be surprised. I think that's how I got this one. I was at a dentist office, and he said he threw it in the trash. I was like, hey, can I have that? And he's like, yeah. I told him what I was doing with it. He's like, oh, that's neat. But anyway, let's see. Let's take a little look at a spot here. Let me find a really gross spot. There's one right there. I can really feel that carbon up on there. If you just take and just kind of turn it flat, not digging into it with the pick like you're trying to mine for gold or something. Just let the tool do the work. Just kind of hold a little light pressure on it, run it back and forth on it, and maybe you can see the little dusty looking particles that are coming off there. But anyway, it'll eventually wear down those little humps. Yeah, you really can't see that too good. You can feel it, but you're not here to feel it. So it'll just take a little bit of time and a little bit of patience, and I can get all that stuff off there, except for the scoring, that where it got into the metal. And you can bet I'm not going to stress test the gun anymore, because I know my point. That it gets gummed up now, and that point will go down now because of that carbon sticks to carbon. So go back to my regular. Every time I shoot the gun, take it out, wipe it down. If nothing else, and then every couple of hundred rounds, I go into a deep cleaning on it. Most of the time, I just go out and shoot 100 rounds or so, on a weekend, and go shoot trap or skeet. Bring it home, I'll take it apart, wipe everything down real quick, hit it with some of this, and that generally keeps it operating real good. And about every 300, 400 rounds, I'll take it down to almost nothing and clean everything really well, and that keeps it running. So do your weapons maintenance, and let idiots like me stress test your stuff. Y'all have fun out there.